I'm excited to talk about a really cool product here in the Adams Polishes line called Rinse Aid. Now, this product is a very unique product that makes rinsing your car a lot easier. Now, it has a couple unique delivery methods, one being through a foam cannon and also one being where you spray it on your car, rinse it off, and your car will bead water like crazy. But also it will make it super slick. And when it comes time to do your final rinse on your car, this is going to enhance that process, making your drying process even that much easier. Now, Rinse Aid can be used both on a car that has not been protected or on a car that has been protected. So on this red Lexus here, this has zero protection on it. When I rinse it off, you can see how flat the surface is on here. Once we get Rinse Aid on there, you'll see it will start to bead water, making your rinsing much easier, but also your drying a lot easier as well. Now on this silver Tacoma, this has been coated with Adams Polishes graphene ceramic spray coating, and on certain parts of the vehicle, it's performing somewhat lackluster. So we're gonna use the Rinse Aid as a boosting agent to the graphene ceramic coating to bring back the hydrophobics, again, making cleaning and drying much easier. So with these cars, we went ahead and washed them both, okay? There's still some foam on these, so we'll rinse them off and we'll start using Rinse Aid so you can see how to use it, but also how it performs on these vehicles. So we're gonna start with the red Lexus first. As I spray this off, look and see how flat this water is. And then once we put the Rinse Aid on, you can see the benefit it adds to it. I have my foam cannon and I have water filled up to the 30-ounce mark here. So when we use Rinse Aid, we add about 3 ounces. So I'll add this in here to when it's about between the 30 and 35 mark. I probably added about 4 ounces. It's recommended to have 3, but if you go to 4 ounces, I think you'll be okay. We'll set our Rinse Aid aside, take the top of our foam cannon, and because we diluted it into the canister, I'm going to crank the top all the way clockwise, meaning to the right, and then I want to make sure my fan is ready to go. So there you go. Now put the foam cannon on. Now you'll notice when I spray the Rinse Aid on here, it's not going to foam up like a soap, okay? It's because there's protection in there. So we start using the foam cannon on here. You can see it comes out kind of milky. And I want to put a nice even layer of Rinse Aid over the surface. I like to hit the whole exterior of the car. So any plastic, glass, paint, even the wheels into the fender wells. Now the cool thing is you can even see on the side here, it's even already starting to bead water. Now, I do like to start on the shaded side first because there's protection inside of Rinse Aid. The protection can actually start to dry on the surface and then it can be streaky during your drying process. So start on the shaded side first, then move to the sunny side. Then when you get to the final rinse, again, start in the shaded side first, moving to the sunny side. So now that the Rinse Aid's on there, we take our pressure washer and we rinse it off. And what you're gonna see is an absolute surface change. Now the water is beating like crazy on the surface, okay? Before this was completely flat. Okay, nice and rinsed. So the thing about this, when the water beads up like this, less water stays on the car. So your drying process is a lot easier because you're not picking up as much water into your towel. So your towel doesn't get wasted as fast. So there's not as much water in your towel. So when you're rinsing, it's not as streaky. So you can really see on this red Lexus the benefit we added by using Rinse Aid, and it's just such a simple process. So now that this is rinsed off, we dry the car and then we'll be done. Okay, so you saw how the rinse aid performed on the red Lexus with the foam cannon, and the water beading is insane, but the way this feels is even better. It's super slick, and obviously it's super glossy. So now we're gonna move to the silver Tacoma. So instead of using it out of the foam cannon, which again is very easy, we're gonna do it by spraying it on the car. And the unique thing about this product is you can dilute it into a dilution bottle. Now the dilution ratio is 1:9. So if you're wondering how to calculate how many ounces needs to go in this bottle, the easiest way to do it is add the 1 and 9 together with the 1:9 ratio, which equals 10. And then you take the total amount of ounces inside of the bottle that you're diluting and you divide it by the 10, or the dilution ratio. So 16 divided by 10 equals 1.6. Now, we calculated here at Adams Polishes that one capful from the bottles that you get holds about 0.4 ounces of fluid. So I put 4 capfuls, which if anything, you could weigh on the side of a little bit more points of ounces or a little bit less, no big deal. All right, so this car again has been washed. There's still dry soap on here, so I'll start rinsing off the car. And what I like to do when I'm doing the process of the spraying is not rinse the whole car off and then spray the whole car down. I'll work section by section, even to the point of rinsing a section off, spraying this on, rinse it off again, and then dry that section or dry multiple sections at a time. But when you have it in a spray bottle like this, you can control how much you dry the vehicle. So if it's a really hot day, this is a little bit better process where you're gonna avoid getting not only water spots, but also streaks from the protection that is in Adams Polishes Rinse Aid. So starting on the section, I'll start with these 2 doors first. So rinse the soap off. And now what I do with my diluted rinse aid is spray this on here. And let it sit and dwell for just a minute. Not a minute, but a few seconds, maybe 10, 15 seconds, and then rinse it off. And what you're gonna notice is the crazy hydrophobics from not only the rinse aid, but also the ceramic coating are back and reinstated. So it's a booster to the hydrophobic properties of the ceramic coating, which again makes cleaning your car easier, drying your car easier, all of the above. So rinse that off. Now, to avoid getting water spots, I'll take a drying towel really quick, dry off this section that I just rinsed off, treated with rinse aid. Get it nice and dry. I'll take my drying towel, throw it over my shoulder. I'll move on to the next section. So dry off this front fender, part of the hood. Take my rinse aid. Spray this down again. Shout out to the United States Postal Service. Like so. Let it sit for a good 10, 15 seconds. Rinse. Boom, hydrophobics, rinse aid. Amazing. And then dry that section again. Now you can understand why this is one of my favorite products to use during my washing process. It adds so much value with such a little bit of effort. Now, a couple things to think about. If you're gonna be using this in a foam cannon, I do recommend having 2 foam cannons. One for your soap, one for your rinse aid, okay? I know it can be somewhat expensive, but if you're willing to do it, it just makes your process a lot easier. You grab one for the soap, you grab one for the rinse aid. Now, remember, if you're gonna dilute it, the dilution ratio is 1:9, very easy to calculate. And if you go back in this video, you can see exactly how we calculated it. We used 4 capfuls from the Rinse-Aid bottle. Now, just to reiterate, Adams Polishes is always trying to innovate new products to make the car care process easier. Rinse-Aid is absolutely one of those. It's such a huge benefit add with such a little bit of effort. And that's why I love this product so much. And I know it's a product that everybody else is gonna love in their washing routine.